trigger warnings here for you folks. This is has elements of horror, which will include torture and assault, and there'll be references to sexual assault and religious shaming. If those are things that are going to upset you, please, you are 100% encouraged to stop watching. Take care of yourselves. You are the number one priority here. We want everyone to be safe, have a good, fun time. So that being said, we are going to jump in with introductions, starting with Vanessa.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Buholzer, and I will be reading the stage directions.
Take care of yourselves. You are the number one priority.
Hi, I'm Gail Harder, and I will be reading the Overseer.
So that being
Hi, I'm Megan Richards. I will be reading
said,
Demeter.
We are going to jump in with
Hi,
introductions.
my name is
Starting
Maggie Blair
with
Smith. My
Vanessa.
pronouns are she, her, and I will be playing Dr. Brigitte Welkes.
Hi, my name is Shawn Ross, and I will be playing Grant and Tom.
Hi, I'm Gail Harder, and I will be reading Overseer.
Hi, my name is Hannah Williams, and I'll be playing Nancy and Lilly.
Hi, I'm Megan Richards. I will be reading.
Hi, my name is Kristina Newcomb, and I will be playing Gretchen and Abby.
Hi, I'm Jay Rohr, and I will be playing Kurt and Mark.
Hello, my name is Justus Wright. I will be reading for Andrew and John.
Hi, my name is Cathy Crocco. My pronouns are she, her, and I will be reading the parts of Alice and Amy.
Hello there. My name is Mike O'Mara, and I wrote this thing, so I'm mostly going to be sitting here and being impressed with these wonderful actors.
We open on a pitch-black stage. Lightly at first, a violin and piano play a distorted version of what begins as an early 20th century Methodist church hymn. Whispers begin in the dark and grow louder. And as they do, candles appear one by one, illuminating long, dead faces. The faces appear to accuse the audience until the overseer suddenly cries out, at which point the music and whispering stop and light suddenly bathes the stage. The accusers now turn to the overseer silently.
Leave! Leave me in peace!
Where's our peace? You left us.
You profited.
Where
is
our peace?
The accusers now stack their candles on the overseer's table as they speak their next lines.
I need sleep. Heaven's mercy, let me
Right?
work on but now? But it's past midnight.
It's always midnight where we are.
Write it. Write the truth.
Truth? I have been.
You've lied, protected yourself, denied all you knew.
I knew nothing. They told me it was empty. No one was there.
You knew everything. Write it down.
Admit it.
You left us.
To
Die.
No, I was a mere landlord, a puppet. It was the state, the courts, father.
Listen to us and write.
I won't hear you. I can't. This isn't real.
You know it is.
Stop tormenting me. It was an inheritance. It wasn't my choice. How could I know that father would die and leave me stewardship? How could I know what still went on within those walls? Mercy, please.
No.
Welkes and Demeter appear from opposite ends of the stage. The inmates in a state of bad
Dr. Welkes. Yes, you see her too, don't you? It was she who did this to you, not me.
Dr. Welkes, the subjects have been procured. They will be deloused and fed tonight, and your experiments may begin tomorrow morning.
No.
greatly appreciate your efforts, Demeter. When the report of what was accomplished here is written, your name will appear prominently alongside my own.
You humble me, Doctor.
Help
Help
us.
us. I can't. It's already been done.
Deliver us.
Suddenly, Demeter and all and freeze them. Demeter walks around their work.
There's still some calculations to be done here. It's all fairly convincing, but yes. A few more passes on the lighting could help things, and the candles, maybe a bit much. All right, back to work.
Demeter exits, snapping their fingers and seems back to life.
Leave me.
Never.
The stage erupts with screams from enemy and overseers as they overtake her. Lights out. Scene 2. Demeter. We are now in the main control room of Untitled Chapter 2020. There are chairs in a circle facing outward on the room, all of which have sets resting on them. Along the sides a few other computers, laptop and typewriters on them. Demeter is now in outfit, no longer in the task attire they would be wearing. They poke and prod at various VR headsets that team to make calculations on a tablet device that lights up to be addressed the
So much work to do. There's never enough time, especially now. It was difficult enough already before my little issue. I'm starting to feel.
Suddenly activity tinkering with this, talking to each other and buzzing all around.
They don't know. She doesn't know. She can't know, or...
Hey, this mainframe's fried. You need a backup?
On it.
Nervous, super on the last optimization pass. How's the visual stutter now?
Nominal.
We're going to need more RAM allocated to post-processing if you want to try that spooky light business again, y'all.
I concur. Prioritize individual patient perception. If we need to lose some visual detail on the edges of the general environment, so be it.
This feel so real.
It should, yes.
Demeter now again. The employees run around, bringing in parts and running back out, tinkering and bickering with one another.
Reality is such a temporary thing. Not more than a year ago, I was but a dream in my creator's eye. Dr. Welkes built me from metal and circuitry and some illicit material as well, human material, which makes me both a machine and a person, a body without a soul, a glitch in the system, a mistake yearning to be righted.
Who's ready, Bob?
Say the word and we'll fire it up.
Thank you,
What's wrong? Are the numbers looking up?
I told you all the RAM allocation. The environment's too unstable.
No, the numbers are fine. Proceed with the final task.
You heard the Android people, let's move.
Yes, ma'am.
The employees run around the VR system.
This system will be a great leap forward.
Here we go.
I only pray it's not right off a cliff. But that's not for me to worry about. I don't worry. I produce. We must make progress under all pains. In a chaotic world, progress is the only thing that makes sense.
It's working. Your revisions are holding.
Just look at these screen renders. Amazing.
Our minds won't know the difference.
That's what I'm worried about.
I wish you could, feel this, boss. What an accomplishment. You should be proud. I'm sure you would be.
I appreciate your sentiment.
You're changing the world.
For the better?
No doubt about it. Just imagine what this baby will do.
The employees celebrate in the background.
No doubt about it. If only that were true. I was given life, or what passes for life, to serve the needs of this company, of my creator. So I have to hide my true feelings. I have to hide that I even have them. I'm starting to learn how to live. It is at times to lie, and it terrifies me.
Lights out. Scene 3. Nancy. We are back in the overseer's 1920s quarters. She is exhausted, sleeping on a chaise lounge near her writing table, which still contains multiple burned-out candles and heaps of paper. After a moment, Nancy appears, now dressed not in her ghostly garb, but instead in a fashionable outfit befitting a wealthy heiress of the early 20th century. As she speaks, the overseer is startled awake.
Do you know how much this dress costs?
Who? What do you want?
Nothing you could give now. Just make sure my parents know.
Your parents?
Yes, my parents. My Midas-touched, money-hoarding parents, whose riches could move mountains and spread industry, but did nothing against the word of one little man.
Your husband?
Yes, the rat. Handed me over to your father and scurried away with everything.
But did you, afterward, the paper said you...
What? Cheated? Ran around with the local pool hall regulars? Found myself a nice little cabin dweller when I already owned a castle? What do you think?
It doesn't make much sense.
And it didn't then either. Still didn't stop them. Said I was a floozy, and then said I was crazy when I denied it. And who stood up for me? No one.
Surely your family must have tried
My ever-loving family went and hid out at their summer cottage, waiting for the press to die down. I only wish I could have seen their faces when...
The asylum burned down. And you... So they weren't...
No. They weren't there. They had sent letters to me before, of course. Said I could bribe whomever I wished. I only needed to use our name. They said this dress would fetch hundreds, and should have bought me leniency, a better sell, if not my freedom. So you write it. You tell them.
Tell them what?
Tell them, no matter the amount, money still burns.
Lights out. Scene 4, The Chosen. The stage is still set as the mainframe room at Live Well Solutions, Inc., now very dimly lit. Demeter is standing perfectly still in the darkness, facing the audience by one of those side, laptop-esque stations. Imperceptibly at first, the ghostly whispers begin again, decrying Dr. Welkes and admonishing anyone to stay away from the equipment. At the loudest, the whispers rise to a yell that cries, "Mercy!" and then they all go silent. Demeter seems to perceive the final cry, but shakes it off. Another migraine pain.
When I first awoke, I was told that the bits of human material used to complete my creation may contain residual imperfections. Due to the fusing of organic and inorganic material, my creators warned me that I may sometimes see or hear things that weren't there. What normal humanity may call
Offstage
hallucinations. I was told all this, but I wasn't told not to worry. I wasn't supposed to be able to worry. They were wrong.
Dr. Welkes appears either via video or simply walking up center stage and delivering an internet ad. She is filming a commercial. Behind her, light and happy, company theme type music underscores her speech.
Hello, friends, and welcome to Live Well Solutions, America's most trusted name in personal health and organic augmentation software. I'm coming to you today from a place most never get to see. The control room where our brilliant scientists work tirelessly day and night to create the newest products of our dedicated customers demand to help them live their best lives.
They never question anything here, whether our creations are helping or hurting.
The wonders in this room never cease.
Or whether they should be created at all, like me.
Millions have begged us for a tour, but this room has been strictly off limits. Until now. That's right. Due to the special nature of our newest top-secret project, a select group of individuals from our very city are eligible for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The chance to meet with our celebrated technicians right here at our command center and to help design the next great leap forward at Live Well Technologies.
Humans are very effective at many things, but there is one area in which machines fare much better in my estimation. Memory.
You will see now a series of last names flashing across your screen. If your family name matches one of these, we would love for you to come down to Live Well Solutions main headquarters.
Humans forget. Enough years go by and all the knowledge humans put into history books, tall tales, scientific proofs, it leaves. And they need to make all the same mistakes again, to put those mistakes into new books, to remember.
In addition to helping us make the world a better place, you'll also be rewarded substantial remuneration for your valuable assistance. The lawyers say I can't tell you how much yet, but just between you and me, you will all be truly living well in more ways than one.
Humans grow up and try to say that monsters don't exist, but they just forget.
Oh, we hope to see you soon. Congratulations to all.
Monsters are all around us.
Dr. Welk exits, the lights briefly go out, and when they come back up, a group of characters are standing around them, viewing the equipment. Demeter greets them.
Thank you for agreeing to be a part of our latest experiment, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Demeter, and I'll be the experiment's director here during your...
Demeter, like the Demeter, head architect of Livewell's technical division?
For the past 6 months, yes.
Oh my God. I've read all about you in the E-Blast. It is an honor, man. Oh, I'm sorry. Lady?
Demeter is fine.
You got it, bro. Anyway, I'm so psyched up to be here. I can crap. Sorry, I don't mean that, like, obviously. I'm just real nervous. I work here too, you know.
You work here?
Hell yeah. Livewell Solutions employee 43607 at your service. Or Mark. Mark's fine.
Whatever.
What do you do for them?
Mostly janitorial shifts. Sometimes the front desk stuff.
Stimulating.
Thanks. This is going to be great.
Speak for yourself. We don't even know what this is yet.
Indeed. If you'll all gather round, I will be happy to explain why you have been invited to join us. Where you now stand is the mainframe control room for Livewell's latest virtual reality software.
You mean like PlayStation has? What's so special about that?
The hardware of which you speak is nowhere near the levels of this room's potential.
Oh, I see. Xbox fan, huh?
No.
Kid, could you let them speak, please?
Thank you. What you see before you we have dubbed the Ancestral Viewer. You have been chosen because of your DNA. We have matched your family's records to others who live near this very location several years ago.
Oh, that's interesting and almost certainly violates privacy laws. But what does our DNA have to do with your fancy setup here?
The Ancestral Viewer takes a sample swab of DNA material from inside your cheek, and when the material is compiled by our system, it creates a synthetic world for descendants to interact with and review the lives of their direct ancestors. The current thinking is that the interaction of this kind on such a multi-sensory, visceral level can aid in the furthering of several fields of study, including psychology, anthropology, and in the potential treatment of degenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's.
Oh, that's a bit cooler than PlayStation.
What kick ass?
Okay. I don't know about all of this. I mean, I signed up for the money, didn't all of you? This seems, does this not seem wildly dangerous to anyone else?
Absolutely. I'm with her. How can we trust PlayStation?
Ancestral Viewer.
You're gonna fry our brains, aren't you?
I assure you, that is not the plan.
Prove it.
Whoa there, killer. Look, everyone, chill out. I work for these guys. Livewell is good people.
You clean their toilets.
Yes, and they've always been very good to me.
And it does stand to reason that they wouldn't invite us all out here to nuke our gray matter. If anything, it would mean bad press.
Not to mention a fucking legal nightmare. My firm would destroy them.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
I don't know. The rest of you can risk your heads, but I kind of like my mental autonomy, so I think I will keep it. Forget the money. How do I get out of here?
It's a free country. Use the door.
You'll all be foregoing your reward if she leaves.
What do you mean? If little Miss Scaredy Pants wants to go, just let her go.
For the simulation to work, we need your entire group. Taking one variable out at this juncture, when we've already calibrated the simulation expecting you all, would render the entire experience rather unstable.
Well, you can't blame me for that. I didn't know about what any of this was. I just answered an ad because I need to make rent. That's it.
Look, I get it. None of us knew what's up, and this is all really new, but listen, what could go wrong?
Are you kidding?
No, he's right. A company this big, this powerful, were they to lobotomize us, they'd be sued by me.
No, they wouldn't. Your brain would be mashed potatoes, too.
Well, then by someone else at my firm. Guaranteed. We sue everybody.
I don't know.
Yeah, she's right. You want us to blindly trust that a multi-billion-dollar corporation wouldn't risk melting a few people in the name of science due to some bad press? They own the press.
Don't trust the press. Trust logic.
I trust no one, dude.
Where are your parents at, kid?
I don't know. Where are yours?
Arizona. But familial locations aside, it's just not practical to think we'd be harmed. The odds are much greater that we're the fortunate recipients of winning genetic lottery ticket, and to be frank, the fee they're offering is fucking humongous.
I do really need that money.
More than your brain, though?
It's a shit ton of money.
The room starts bickering. Dr. Welkes and her guard, played by the overseas actor, enter.
Hello, new friends. I am so sorry that I am late joining you. Had some nasty trade business to work out downstairs. Isn't that right, Sheila?
Yes, ma'am.
Indeed, but that's through, and now we get to meet in person. Oh, how wonderful to have you on board.
I ain't aboard nothing, lady.
Anything, son.
Don't speak that way to Dr. Wells. She's a legend.
Oh, well, you do me a great honor, mister.
You can call me Mark, ma'am. I'm a proud Live Well employee, number 43607.
Delightful. Thank you for your service, Mark.
She thanked me.
Some of our compatriots here are reluctant to sign on the project, Doctor. There have been worries voiced about personal safety.
It wasn't me, Doctor. I told them they were crazy.
He has been speaking quite a bit.
I understand, friends. This is cutting-edge technology, and with any uncharted voyage comes trepidation. But as my employees can assure you, live well means none of you harm. Quite the opposite. We want you to, well, live well. Our customers are, in a way, our family. Now, would family ever think to harm one another?
You haven't met my family.
I assure you all of the necessary tests and calibrations have been made by our top technicians. Live Well's safety features are industry leaders, and we wouldn't want to have it any other way. I understand your concerns, and they will all be assuaged in due time, I guarantee. But I must have your answer so that we may proceed. My friends, what is your choice?
Ship up or ship out?
The clock is ticking on us.
B. Visitors all eye one another.
Well, hell, write me a check and plug me in, Doc.
I'm sold.
Seems legit to me.
I get it. For real, but it's just so much money.
It's this or back on the street, so let's do it.
Yes, that's everyone.
Fantastic! Oh, Demeter, as you were, in the name of progress.
Certainly, Doctor. For progress.
Lights out. Scene 5. Kurt. The scene is set in a trench circa 1918, deep in a forest in Germany. There are human figures under blankets, which could be alive or dead. None move save Kurt, freezing in the night air. He clutches a rifle in one hand and a rosary in the other.
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb.
There is a rustle in the darkness. Kurt freezes and aims his rifle.
Hey, who's there? Say who you are, I'm gonna fire. I swear to...
The overseer stumbles onto the scene.
What in God's name?
Well, you're no Kraut. Get the hell over here, doughboy.
What? I'm no...
Get down, damn it, down!
Kurt reaches out of the trench and pulls the overseer down with him. She recoils in fear at the sight of bodies all around as Kurt looks out for enemies in the distance.
I'm dreaming. That's it. This is the war, right? You were in the Great War.
Were in, huh? You hit your head on the way through the trees or something? I'd say we are very deeply still in the war, and I don't know what hole you've been freezing in, but thus far it's been anything but great.
My God, you're so young.
What are you, my mother? Yeah, I'm young. Look around. You're way too forward in the line to find any grandfathers here. Old bulls do the planning, but young bucks do the killing. Ain't that right, boys?
Kurt motions to the figures on the ground. None move.
Lions led by lambs.
Your friends. These were... They...
We'll get them next time. That's just the way it goes. It's a meat grinder, you know. We pay the butcher's bill today, they pay it tomorrow, and twice on Saturday. You got a cigarette? I could really use a cigarette.
You shouldn't have been here. And when you got back, what happened? How did you end up in Father's?
Shut up! Shut up, you goddamn mouth! When you hear the fucking Kaiser lovers, they're out there in the dark. Look.
I don't see anything.
Then look harder, damn it. They're always there, waiting with knives or shovels or bombs or that god-awful flamethrower. And they tell you to go, but you can already see them waiting, and they told us to go still when the whistle blew it.
I'm so sorry.
Can't say no when the whistle blows. They shoot your sorry ass dead, but I tried to tell them. I told John and Peter and Robert, all of them. Watch that right flank, I said. I think they're waiting, but they just laughed. Can't tell us what to do, stupid kid, they said. They're gone. Everyone's gone. Whole unit but me. And you should be too. The whistle's gonna go off again. You gotta go.
No! I can stay here with you if you...
Go, goddammit. Leave me now. It's my watch, not yours. Mine.
Kurt brandishes his weapon at the overseer, who backs up and out of the trench.
All right, I'm leaving.
Go on, then.
The overseer takes another look back at Kurt with pain in her eyes, and then exits. Kurt returns to watching the horizon.
Please, don't go. Our Father, who art in heaven.
Lights out. Scene 6, The Gathering. We are back in the East Welford Asylum, 1920. There are the sounds of faint screaming and mumbling from others heard in the background over speakers. As the lights go up partially, the inmates are found sitting in a row, chained together. Demeter watches over them from one side silently as Dr. Welkes has her back turned to them. She is consulting books and sharpening tools. Demeter is presiding over what looks like to be a small podium with 19th century switches attached. The overseer appears on stage, outside the moment, reflecting with her memoirs in hand.
It's been months now. If I close my eyes, even for a second, I see it just as I did the first night they visited. I hear the screams. I smell the rotting, desperate, terrified mass of people. I feel the fear all over again. The asylum. The voices never stop. They'll never leave me. My God.
The overseer exits. On full lights up, all are yelling at Dr. Welkes to release them. They ad-lib lines about their innocence as she calmly works. Suddenly, without turning to them, she half waves at Demeter.
Silence.
The inmates cease, and Dr. Welkes finally turns to face them.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Are you mad? How dare you have us chained and treated like this? We aren't criminals. I am a veteran. There are standards and...
Dr. Welkes calmly holds up a hand again to Demeter, who flips a switch on the podium. Kurt yells in pain as he is electrocuted and then goes silent. The others look on, gasping and terrified.
I trust that you found your first night here at the asylum to your liking. I do apologize for the rats. We have raised concerns with the overseer, but thus far, nothing. So much for the vaunted march of industry and progress, no?
Who are you? What in God's name are you?
Dr. Welkes raises her hand and Demeter electrocutes Grant, who falls silent.
Do not speak unless I bid you. There are rules here, my friends. These rules keep us safe. Silence is golden, as they say. Let us cherish it then, and converse in turn, as polite society would ask of us. Can we obey this first rule?
The inmates, terrified, do not know whether they can answer or not, and look to each other.
Will you obey?
Demeter hovers their hand above the podium, poised to flip all the switches.
Yes.
Yes. I can already tell that we will get on splendidly, despite whatever maladies possess you. So again, for memory, the first rule is silence is golden. And now that we know how to listen, we may speak in turn. Oh, let us begin our introductions. I am Dr. Welkes, medical director, and during your stay here, it is my sacred task to do everything I can to bring your minds back to heavenly sanity. Though it may be a monumental undertaking, I have faith that we will succeed.
Amen.
Oh, we will have such fun. And assisting me will be Demeter, my trustworthy servant in my professional endeavors.
Good day.
Now, before we break our fast in the mess hall together, let's meet all of you. What a lovely collection of subjects you are. Child and adult, woman and man. Oh my. Oh, veritable cornucopia of the human experience.
Welkes beckons for Andrew to speak.
Shall we start with you, young one? What is your name?
Andrew looks terrified and says nothing.
Speak!
Andrew, my name is Andrew, and I shouldn't be here. I wasn't even where they said. I didn't do it. I didn't.
Andrew begins sobbing and is comforted by prisoners near him.
That's a good lad. Oh, I forgot to mention before. That's rule number 2. We speak when bid to do so. To do otherwise is rather uncouth. Wouldn't you agree?
Look at him. He's barely out of boyhood. Let him go, for mercy's...
Mercy? What mercy did this boy show his victim?
Victim?
Oh. Did you not know, my dear? That is why this brat sits with you this morning. Murder.
Him? Impossible. He couldn't have.
I didn't.
Oh, he did! And he will pay penance for his mind's perversions, as you all will. You come to me scared, lost, alone, and afraid. I understand. And more, I will not simply offer you society's jeers and platitudes for your transgressions. You have demons in you, you see, and they're fighting, cursing me with their forked tongues. They're not scared of our words. Not yet. Which is why you persist in your sniveling. Just wait, though. They will be.
Doctor, you are a woman of science, of logic. Let me go, I beg you. I do not belong in these rags. My family will compensate you substantially if you...
Welkes raises a hand again, and Demeter electrocutes Nancy, who screams.
Hubris. Vanity. Just a portion of the reasons you are right where you must be.
This is madness. My family sent me here for help, not to be tortured.
And help you shall receive. Help for your sick minds, no matter the cost to your wretched bodies.
Are there no laws? Where is your right?
My right is the will of both heaven and the state, both of which you have rejected in your quest for anarchy, communist.
This is immortal.
Demeter electrocutes Grant.
Is therapy. You claim innocence and abuse, but the courts say otherwise. Your peers have accused you, my friends. But not to worry. You should be glad and rejoice. Shouldn't they, Demeter?
Yes, Doctor.
Indeed, you all should. For through my methods, I bring you a new salvation. I will strike hard and true at your inadequacies, and you'll soon be free of them. Oh, but enough about me. I am no preacher, nor am I a tyrant. You all need sustenance. Let's walk over to the mess hall together and get a good breakfast, shall we? I don't know about you, but I am positively famished. Demeter, if you please.
As you wish, Doctor.
Demeter picks up the end of the chain link holding the inmates' shackles together. Suddenly, the lights go out, the inmates scream, and the scene freezes. The overseer appears again.
Screams, the tortured screams, they come every night. I can't help them, but they keep asking me, begging me. What did you do to them, Welkes?
The scene switches back to real time, but the overseer is now on stage observing the event unfolding.
Wait, is this it? Is this real, or?
This isn't the control room. Where are we?
I can't move. Guys, can you hear me? What is going on?
What is this new madness, Doctor?
Fascinating.
Welkes overstepped her bounds. The court and my father tasked her with helping people, but instead, after the asylum was supposed to be closed, she...
Is this a prison or something?
Remind them of their playtimes, Demeter.
Doctor, I don't know if I...
Do it!
Demeter reluctantly flips all the switches at once while singing a bit of the hymn, Onward Christian Soldiers. The inmates scream, and the shock returns them to their 1920s selves.
What have you done?
This cannot be happening. I wasn't myself. It's this place, this wretched place, and you.
Let them go, you monster!
And still, your sickened delusions persist. Well, it seems that breakfast will have to wait, dear friends. The journey to your redemption begins now. Make certain they are chained snugly, my dear Demeter. They will most definitely hurt as much as it hurts.
No!
Welkes goes to pick out tools from her table.
Well then, let's begin.
The inmates and overseer scream as Dr. Welkes closes in. Lights out. Scene 7, Reflections. We are back at the writing table bedroom of the overseer. The whispers again build in the darkness, building to a crescendo that stops abruptly when the lights go up. We see the inmates now huddling close to and looking over the shoulder of the overseer, who has fallen asleep at her desk on her memoirs. She wakes up with a start, realizing they are all present with her again.
No, not again, please.
Right.
I am trying. You know that I am trying. I'm just so tired.
I was tired.
I was young.
Just a boy.
Right. Do it now.
I beg of you, just give me an hour or two of rest and...
There's no more time.
You know the truth.
So
write it.
How much more must I endure? Night after night, you follow my every move. Can't you see I need peace? Write, you say. You repeat, you scream. But how? How do I write when I can barely think any longer?
Right.
Damn you! Dear God, I can have no more of this. Their voices, their faces gathering around me every midnight. I can't stay. I can't leave.
They follow me everywhere.
We do.
We will.
Just leave me, for pity's sake. This writing, these forced confessions, it means this does nothing.
The overseer swipes her memoirs off of her writing table and onto the floor, collapsing in exhaustion and sobs.
You're already gone.
The inmates, silently and emotionless, observe, and then calmly, Alice picks up the book and returns it to the overseer.
This means everything.
The truth.
Truth. If only he were here. He was the realm of truth. At least, I believed it was.
He is here.
All are everywhere.
Only I could see him, as I do all of you. He could fix this. He should fix this. When I was young, Father always told me, a hint of light is all you need, he'd say. Just a whisper of something better. The slightest star can remind you the night won't last. Dawn is coming. Don't wait for the morning. Look for the hint of light.
The ghosts are gone. The 1920s scene freezes. Demeter, who has been silent thus far, steps out of the darkness, and now the scene shifts to 2020 in the Live Well control room.
Core temperatures holding steady, patient vital signs within acceptable limits. Next maintenance cycle scheduled for 0500 hours. I believe a proper expression here would be excellent. Everything's going as planned. All of my readings would indicate that the system is holding and the project is operating exactly as we hoped. I feel pride. I feel. But I can't. I'm not allowed, and if it's found out that I'm malfunctioning, I can't let her know.
Why didn't you tell me, Father? Lord, I can't take it anymore. I'm failing.
Lights out. Scene 8, Grant. The scene is back in the overseer's chambers, but as the lights go up, we see several bodies of children in rags on the ground. Piped in offstage, crowd noise of a political rally starts softly at first, and then grows to a crescendo that lights with "Communist! Traitor!" being yelled and the sound of a cell door slamming shut, which brings the lights up and startles the overseer awake. She recoils in horror as she surveys the scene around her room. Grant stands nearby, watching her.
This is what I was trying to avoid.
Children. My God, these are just children. Who would?
See, that's the thing. It's not just one person, it's all of us. It's the very systems we cling to.
You're speaking madness. What system? What right-thinking person kills children?
No one in their right mind, precisely. Which is why I wouldn't hold my tongue any longer. I spoke out, called for action, and for that I got ridicule, admonishment, chains.
For being a traitor?
For having a soul. For understanding that the center cannot hold and that there are people, children, dying in the streets while all the rich around us grow richer.
But you and your friends, you incited riots, caused damage, made things worse. I heard all about what you did. That's...
What? Crazy? Lunacy? To question the authority and ownership of the populace that we have simply given to a select few? To not simply sit back and continuously suffer the rulings of a corrupt governance while your friends, family, and citizens go hungry?
But what you did, you can't get your way by shouting, by violence.
Have you read your histories, ma'am? How else have the unheard heard? How else are those not feared given their rightful attention?
Your demonstrations and calculations against our lawful state will not bring them back. It could only end one way, war, another civil war.
My poor woman, we are already at war. We have been and forever will be. I was simply trying to end it sooner, but it doesn't matter. I sleep well, especially now. They are not on my conscience. I wonder about yours.
Grant turns and leaves. The overseer is left with the dead children in her room.
Wait, where are you going? This is your dream. Take them with you. This isn't on me. It can't be. Come back.
Lights out. Scene 9, Sight. The inmates are chained together on the ground, looking far more disheveled and forlorn than when we last saw them. Dr. Welkes stands nearby, along with Demeter, at the controls of the electrocution device as before. Whispers begin again in the darkness. As music rises, so do the whispers, until the inmates all yell no, bringing the lights up to find the scene frozen and the overseer again standing before the audience.
I should have seen it. I should have been there. I should have stopped it. Father kept me away, said it was empty, just a building, an investment property. Why didn't I go see for myself? The cruelty, the experiment she conducted. Jesus! She wasn't a doctor. She was a demon.
The inmates start ad-libbing, yelling again as Welkes laughs and the lights go out. The overseer exits. As the lights come back up, the scene is now in real time. After a bit of laughter, Welkes has had enough of the inmates yelling and motions to
Silence.
The inmates fall silent.
I hope you've all gotten a wonderful rest, my darling subjects, for this is a banner day. But you're very excited to hear about it. Are you?
The inmates are silent and afraid.
Well?
Yes.
Oh, I knew it! Oh, and tickled you should be, for I believe that you have just cracked the code of freeing your minds from damnation.
What we need is to be freed from these chains. Ah!
Grant has been electrocuted.
Oh, now, Grant, my dear, you know the rule. No speaking when the doctor is speaking. Right? Right. No more lollygagging. Back to work. Now, where was I? Oh, yes. My new method for treating delusions and perversions. By taking away the use of your misused senses, we aim to heighten the rest, causing your true and wholesome spirit to come forth. I call it sex therapy.
Enlightened, Doctor.
Why, thank you, Demeter. It came to me in a dream. All the most wonderful things come packaged up in my dreams. Don't you think, dear? What do you dream of?
I dare not say.
Oh? And why not, my love?
Doctor, please,
I am speaking to Alice! Go ahead now. Well, it seems that Kitty has run away with our tongue this morning, yes. What a shame. Perhaps Demeter can help give a little jolt to all of your thoughts.
Welkes motions to Demeter to shock them all.
No, please. Home. I dream of home.
Oh, how sweet that is. And what else, my child?
And Sarah, we were...
Perversion!
Welkes motions to Demeter, who gives a shock to Alice.
Be not afraid. My sense therapy will save you, Alice, and the rest of you as well.
Please, stop this madness.
That is my intent, my dapper young Kurt, and through your enthusiasm, you have just volunteered to sample my new method first.
Hallelujah.
What?
Yes, indeed. You and our firebrand would-be rabble-rouser here. Demeter, if you will.
No, wait.
At your service, ma'am.
The scene freezes. The overseer returns. As behind her, the scene shifts to the rest of the inmates gathering up the chairs and placing them alongside the back side of the room. Welkes exits, and Demeter throws Kurt and Grant into an enclosed chamber before exiting. The overseer addresses the audience.
She took their freedom. She took their dignity. And then she forced them back into their greatest failings, their greatest fears. Her sense therapy was effective. That much was all too true. It was very effective at causing immeasurable pain.
The overseer now fades into the ensemble and all take up see-through colored fabric, the color of which resembles noxious gases used in World War I, yellows, greens. With Kurt and Grant in the center of the stage, the ensemble slowly billows the fabric around them, acting as spreading fumes.
What? What in the hell is this? I can't see.
Oh, no, not again.
Stay with me, Kurt. Look at me.
No, I can't. It's just like it was. I won't go over the top again. Never again.
Grant and Kurt start coughing. Ghost Tom and Ghost Mark appear on both sides of the stage. They are completely dressed in black, with material also covering their faces, such as they are indistinguishable.
Hey, buddy, listen to me. Just keep breathing.
Who are you?
You have to make it out, for both of us.
Both?
Kurt and Grant yell in pain, holding their heads. Ghost Tom and Ghost Mark again disappear, exiting the sides of the stage.
Traitor!
No,
Killer!
I did my goddamn duty.
You're alone.
I can't breathe. Sweet Lord, save me.
Let us out of here.
Thousands, millions share my fate. I can see them again with my waking eyes. What's the use?
What? Get a hold of yourself, man. We got to get out of here.
Doesn't matter. We're all cattle. Cattle to the slaughter, with nothing earned.
Open the damn door. Let us out of here.
Repent.
For what? What did we do to deserve this? This man went into the trenches for you people, into the shit and blood. Does that not matter at all? And I did nothing but speak my God-given conscience. I've hurt no one.
Kurt collapses from the gas.
Heaven's mercy, let us out.
The ensemble leaves. Gas dissipates as Grant and Kurt collapse onto the floor. Ghost Tom and Ghost Mark appear again and try to help them up.
Come on, man, get up. You have to breathe, kid. You have to.
What?
Who are you?
You won't believe me. I don't understand it either, but I think I'm you?
Lights out. Scene 10. In between. The stage is blank, save for the modern-looking chair on one side and an older-appearing bench on the other. Abby appears on stage, surveying the scene.
Hello? Is anyone there? Where the hell am I? Shit, this is so fucked up.
Abby sits down on the modern side of the stage as Andrew appears, rather sheepishly from the other side, dressed in his 1920s clothes.
Oh, what the hell? You're one of those... You're...
Andrew, so you can see me? Most people can't see me, or won't anymore.
What are you talking about? Of course I can see you, but you shouldn't be here. Or I shouldn't be. I'm still figuring it all out. Where are we anyway? I saw you and those others before. Back in the messed up prison, right?
The asylum. But that's not here. This is in between.
In between what?
Here and there. Now and after. And before. I come here a lot. Usually nobody can see me. They just walk by.
No offense, but you look about 12.
Hey, now I'm 16. Or I was.
Either way, that seems young to be where you are. Or were. What were you doing in that Rob Zombie film anyway?
I was sitting at this bench when they showed up and took me. I was waiting for Kate to come by so I could walk her home from school.
Kate?
My little sis, Kate, yeah. I had to quit school early and help Mom with the bills, and since Dad left, but that was alright. Kate was the smart one anyway.
What did you do, Andrew?
They didn't even give me a chance to speak, to tell them that I was sitting right there and I couldn't have done what they said I was just waiting for Kate.
But what did they say?
I hadn't ever seen a gun lady, alright? Maybe where you're from, plenty of kids have pistols or whatever.
Too many.
Yeah, well, in my town there weren't many, and certainly none owned by me, but it didn't matter. I killed him, they said, for money. And that was that. They had money, Me and Ma didn't, so they threw me away.
I am so sorry, Andrew.
They wouldn't even listen. No one ever listens unless you're rich. Then you can say whatever you want. You can talk for hours and people have to pretend you're impressive.
Some things never change.
But some people do. No one ever saw me before.
It was nothing. I was just passing through, I guess.
Let's tell the others who are with you.
From the feet, from the other side? Tell them what?
Tell them to listen to what happened before and learn from it. What's your name?
I'm Abby.
Abby. You remind me of Kate. Smart. She always got teased, for being a smart girl. Wasn't supposed to happen, not in our town, but she knew better. Better in all of them.
She sounds awesome.
She was. Got a college degree, taught school, had a family, wrote some books. Can you believe it? Ma couldn't even read or write. Died a bunch of years back. I'm gonna go tell her about you.
Andrew gets up to leave.
Oh, okay, I guess I don't know what happens now.
You wait for others to see you, or you go and listen some more. Right through there.
Andrew motions off stage.
I think I'll go.
See you soon, Abby. Keep listening.
Andrew exits. After a moment of reflection, Abby goes off stage in another direction. Lights out. Scene 11. Sound. We are in a solitary confinement cell. Gretchen sits by herself, rocking back and forth. She has obviously been there a long while. There is a sound of water rhythmically and methodically dripping, slowly driving Gretchen insane. Demeter comes out to address the audience.
We had planned on some difficulties, of course. Knowing the heightened emotional states that the host bodies would be under meant that they might very well totally reject our specimens. Losses were deemed acceptable, given the potential for knowledge that could be gained, for progress. It was...
Is anyone there?
Welkes put this girl in here days ago. This poor girl. This is wrong.
Demeter exits.
Pockets full of posies, ashes, What was that? Hello? No one. Just the dripping. How long have I been in here anyway? A day? A week? A year? Am I still here? Papa, why do you put me in here? Was I that bad? Papa? You used to raise me. You and Mama. Before she died. I'm older now, of course, much older. But I could use a fairy tale now. Could you read me one? Oh, I suppose I'll just have to make one up then. Here goes.
Relaying a story to herself out loud.
Once upon a time, along the river there lived a girl in a little brick house that laid beside the trail to town. And the girl played and picked flowers, and everything was fine and dandy. Until Mother died, and Father started spending time at the pub, and drip, 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 the brick house used to drip too, every time it rained. I miss home. Do you miss home? Do I miss...
Ghost Abby appears. She is dressed all in black as the other spirits.
You're going to be all right, Gretchen.
Why couldn't it just be the same?
We were fine there. Life was...
What? Life was what?
There were flowers. It was pretty. And... Oh, where was I? Ruined my story.
You can keep going. I'll just listen, promise.
All right. So along this river one summer day, this farmer stopped by the brick house and admired the girl, which would have been sweet, were the girl not so young and he not so old, and...
Yes?
And... No! I can't marry! I'm too young! I don't want this!
Gretchen, what happened?
He was from a wealthy family. Daddy was so excited about the dowry and getting out of his debts, and I said no. But he didn't like that. Then Daddy, it was raining. Just like this raining and lightning, and everything was just ruined. Ruined.
What did he do to you?
But he never hit me. Never, ever. Not once. Not until... Not...
I'm so sorry, Gretchen.
We were poor. So poor. And that stupid farmer, boys ruin everything.
Sometimes.
I learned, though. They said I would never learn, never get better, but I learned. I learned not to trust or laugh. I learned to be afraid. And I've been nervous ever since. So nervous, I couldn't sleep in that brick house. So nervous, I couldn't be near town. So Daddy, they came when he asked, and... Thank you for listening. Who are you?
Ghost Abby exits silently.
Who are you?
Lights out. Scene 12, status report. The scene is set back at LiveWell Solutions control room. The patients are all sedated and around the room in their chairs with their VR helmets on. Demeter also wears a device, but is able to break out of the machine and comes to as Dr. Welkes enters.
Demeter, status report.
Dr. Welkes. All systems are holding steady, the patient's sedation levels are consistent, and we're getting strong readings from all the biometrics.
Fantastic! I can feel it, my friend. We are on the verge here. A new breakthrough is coming.
I feel... Systems indicate that it is so, Doctor. However...
Yes, Demeter?
I wonder, does the intensity of the scenes need to be so high, Doctor? We are receiving very strong cortisol outputs from some of the subjects.
And what? Of course they're releasing elevated cortisol levels. In their minds, they're being tortured.
Yes, but why?
Why? Demeter, you know why. The more stress we put them through, the stronger their response, and the stronger the response, the better readings we get, the more effective our research becomes, and more effective research leads to our system changing, hopefully saving lives. Now, let's get to another scenario, shall we? And let's really crank it up this time. Put in the fried swine protocol.
Doctor, I don't know if we really need to...
Just load it up, please. I'm feeling quite strongly about this one.
But Dr. Welkes, our patients...
Damn it, Demeter, do what I say. Don't tell me about the risks. Don't tell me about the subjects. Holy hell, what did I build you for?
Welkes collects herself.
How could you understand. You couldn't. This machine, Demeter, this program is going to change the world. If we get strong enough readings, it could mean billions in funding. Billions. We market the VR component to the masses, but the rest of the research goes to healing. Helping. Making sure what happened to
your mother, my namesake.
She was brilliant. Far more than I. Brilliant and stubborn as a damn ox. But when this system is fully realized, diseases like hers will be mitigated. Demeter, they will be stamped out. And it will be because of this work. My work. I know you can't really care about these people. And I understand, because the truth is, neither can I. But I do care about what comes next, what's after them. And I will do what needs to be done. I will scream and yell and torture and, yes, Demeter, I will kill to make a better world. So, load up the next scenario and no more delays.
Welkes storms out.
Yes.
Lights out. Scene 13. Touch. We are in another experimental chamber. This time Nancy and Andrew are chained together, sitting in 2 chairs facing away from one another in the center of the room. The rest of the inmates are spread around the sides of the room. There are 2 large buckets in front of them. Demeter is off to one side, holding a revolver and a horsewhip and guarding the only exit as Dr. Welkes looks on. There is another doctor, Dr. Friedzweig, in a bloodied lab coat, standing silently and looking crazed with an old-fashioned syringe to the side. The scene is frozen at first, and Demeter addresses the audience directly.
The subjects are doing quite well, considering the circumstances. Back in the mainframe room in our current year, a portion of my memory bank has been allocated to monitoring their vital signs, keeping them sedated, noting any aberration. Of course, there is some, but I have not reported it. They are aware of one another, those from our time and these sorry wretches. Scientifically and logically, this is impossible, of course. Impossible. Like a machine that feels regret.
The scene shifts into real time now.
Good afternoon, my lovely ones. I am so sorry to have interrupted your free time, but as you can see, our friends Nancy and Andrew have seats of honor at our group session today, and all of you have a special part to play as well.
Demeter cracks the whip on the ground so that the inmates recoil.
I was thinking you may say something to that effect, my sweet, misguided girl. So I took the liberty of adding a few more variables into our proceedings today.
Mother, is that you?
Christ, what have you done to them?
Oh, not to worry, dear. They'll be fine. My talented colleague, Dr. Friedzweig, has simply gave them a little something to relax their nerves.
Scrappers, these 2 chickens! But I've gotten them nice and ready for plucking.
You have no heart.
Don't I, though? Through these sessions, your evils are being confronted. Your senses are being tested, and your true wholesome selves are again allowed to take control. What is more heartfelt than to reach out to a wayward soul and offer peace?
Well said, ma'am.
God's work.
Now, in front of you, you will see a large collection of insects. As I instruct you, I would like for you to approach our friends, Nancy and Andrew, 2 by 2, and entreat them to confess their disgusting crimes. If they do, rejoice. We may hear all their confessions and continue the healing process through enlightened conversation. But if they do not, well, then the fun begins, huh? Then they must be persuaded. So, you will pour the vermin out, and as the many, many legs and writhing, segmented bodies slide over them, they will be reminded of how touch may be a great evil if misused, as they have done.
I would not be party to this insanity. You cannot make us do this to them.
Welkes flips a switch connected to the wires leading to Nancy and Andrew's chair.
Ah! Aha! Look at him wiggle! Wiggle, 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 little worm!
I couldn't let my Demeter have all the fun, could I? So now you see, all of you get to choose the appropriate punishment for lovely Nancy and young Andrew here. Isn't that perfect?
How can you be so cold?
I am what I must be, my dear. I take no joy in my work, only in the knowledge that through it you will all be cured. Have you not heard of eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth? It's pure equality. So now, my friends, what is it going to be? The appropriate response to our friends' delusions? Or more jolly?
The inmates look at each other.
Too late!
Welkes flips the switch. Nancy and Andrew scream out.
Ah! Ha-ha! Marvelous! Watch him dance!
No, please stop. I will. Gretchen and I will do it.
God forgive us.
There is nothing to forgive. You are doing heaven's work here, my lovely girls. Now proceed. Post haste.
Gretchen and Alice pick up a large, trough-like container filled with bugs and slowly proceed towards Nancy and Andrew.
What are you? I'm so sorry, Nancy.
That is not what you say. Shall I proceed with the more painful methods, or...
Welkes motions to the electric switch in her hands.
Yes!
No, please.
Then, by all means, my dear, continue as you were bid to do. Ask our dear Nancy here to confess. Her faithful and loyal husband swears that after they wed, he caught her in an affair with a young laborer from across town. Not only that, but then she flatly denied her crimes and started cavorting all across creation with numerous new romances. Can she now see where she was wrong? Does she now remember all she did?
Mother?
Doctor, I beg you, she doesn't even
ask.
Nancy, do you confess your crimes?
I have not committed any crimes.
Really now? And what about our Andrew here? Poor little Andrew, who was found guilty by a court good and true of murdering a much-respected citizen of his town. Does he still deny the charge? Can he not now see the pain his cruelty caused an upstanding family of his community? Ask him.
Andrew, do you confess? Do you confess?
Doctor, he couldn't have done what you claim. Look at him. He's just a boy and...
They lie! They continue to spread their poison. Very well then. Give them their treatment, and perhaps that will steer them true.
Please.
Do it!
Gretchen and Alice reluctantly dump hundreds of insects on the heads of Nancy and Andrew. They scream out in terror. Friedzweig laughs insanely, and the scene freezes. Demeter speaks to the audience again.
If I were still obeying orders, as she believes is my only capacity, I would now inform Dr. Welkes that the gross intensity of her experiments is beginning to cause a significant rift in the simulated reality, one that we cannot predict or stabilize. But I am not obeying any longer.
The scene is now back in real time, with Nancy and Andrew screaming in horror at the bugs, Friedzweig cackling, and the remainder of the inmates ad-libbing lamentations and curses as Welkes, who shouts over employees.
Yes! Yell if you will, scream if you must! It's rude, certainly, but a choice I offer you for free. And yet you still respond this way. No thanks for what I'm doing here. Thankfully for you, I do this out of love. You can, and you will, be saved.
Welkes motions for the final bucket of insects to be poured on Nancy and Andrew as Demeter looks away shamed. The bucket is poured, and Welkes, Friedzweig, laugh maniacally while Nancy and Andrew scream, and the rest look on in horror. Lights out. End of Act 1.
Okay, everyone, we're going to take a short break here, about 5 minutes before jumping into Act 2. Do what you gotta do. Thanks.
Okay, we are back for Act 2 of Fracture by Mike O'Mara. Vanessa, take it away.
Act 2, Scene 14, Alice. The scene opens on Alice, in better times, writing, dictating the letter alone in her room.
To my dearest Sarah, I write this with every hope that you will never receive it. As if you received my last, you should have made your way far away by now. So why do I write then? Part is out of habit, I suppose. We have for so long now been each other's confident truth-teller and secret-keeper that despite knowing you'll likely never have a chance to read this or respond, I automatically turn to you in good times and in bad. How I wish it were the former, but they are coming to me. Father arranged it to avoid further scandal, he said. I have the night to prepare myself, and then I'll be taken to the old asylum outside town. For what? For love? I can think of worse things of which someone can be accused and guilty, but nothing worse than to deny the truth. The truth I know in my heart, that I have known since before the first kiss, since before you were the first to discover the bravery to dare tell me what I yearned so much to know. And now I am torn in two, torn between wishing you could see these words and praying that you are somewhere safe, among friends, where your own family's inquisition will never reach you. I want you here, and I want you gone. Love is a conundrum, I suppose, a series of questions, like, why did heaven make us this way if this way is wrong? How can I care so much for someone who suffers due to my affection? Maybe I will find answers within the walls of my upcoming imprisonment. Something tells me not to expect any great insight, however. For my sake, don't wait for me. Don't wait, and don't fight this. Stay away. Stay safe and never ever change for anyone or anything. Every happy thought I have will be of you. Every pain I endure will be erased with the memory of you. You were never wrong. It's this world who sins. Forever yours, Alice.
Lights out. Scene 15, Pain. The room is arranged with the inmates in an amphitheater, all strapped to their chairs. Alice and the overseer are missing. There are electric wires running from all the chairs to a podium where Welkes stands. Demeter is off to another side, viewing the scene with the whip in their hand. There is one chair in the center of the room, empty. Alice, Amy enters and addresses the audience.
I can't save her. I can't. I know that she isn't real. She lived a long time ago. She's gone now, but that doesn't feel true. The more we all suffer in this space between now and then, reality and the simulation, there's a disconnect between things we see on screen and things we feel ourselves. It's not like we don't know there's evil in this world. We can't, though, not really. War, famine, brutality, children taken from families rejecting their children. The news never sleeps, and there it all lies at our fingertips 24 hours a day. We can turn it off anytime we want. This I can't escape. I see with her eyes, my eyes. Still, I can't save her. And if I were feeling her every moment, I'd do anything to turn away.
Amy walks over to the empty chair and sits down. The lights go out and whispers begin again. While the whispers are ongoing, Amy leaves the stage and the overseer, dressed as Alice, takes her place. When the lights go back up, the whispers cease, and Amy's seat is turned toward the inmates' amphitheater and away from the audience. From here on, the overseer plays the role of Alice in the scene. Demeter stands over her as if they had just got done whipping her. The inmates look horrified, but also weakened and far beyond the ability to fight back.
That's enough, Demeter. I dare say you've lost a little vigor this morning. Have you been getting your proper amount of sleep, dear? No matter. Our other friends are here to assist in lovely Alice's therapy as well. One can always rely on the kindness of true friends. Isn't that right, my darlings?
The inmates look ready to pass out, having endured too much torture.
Come now. Rise and shine.
Welkes flips the switches and all the inmates scream.
That's better. Well, there's no time to catnap, my loves.
Doctor, perhaps if we gave the subjects a bit of rest, they might...
Rest? No. My trustworthy friend. We are so close to a breakthrough. You can feel it too. Can't you, Alice?
Please.
Please what, darling? Please stop harming you. Please stop causing pain.
I beg you.
But pain is the sense we are exploring, my dear. To deny it would negate our great work here today. And we are doing such great work that you were about to reject your former indignities and rejoin civilized society.
Alice, don't listen to her.
We love you as you are, Alice.
Demeter!
Doctor,
Must I do everything myself?
Welkes stomps over to the podium and shocks the inmates.
we have to stop this.
We will not stop until our patient is reformed. And if you continue to sow discord, I will call the constabulary to assist in your reformation as well.
My apologies, Doctor.
Accept it. I know it's not your mind to disobey, Demeter. It's the infestation of all of this mental and spiritual malaise, which is why we must double our efforts to eradicate it. Do you see what you do, Alice? Do you see how your sinful choices affect the innocent?
Please.
Oh, my dear girl. You spent so much time on your vices that you've completely forgotten every citizen's role in the wider public health. Thankfully, this is where I can step in. With mine and the good Lord's assistance, we shall see your sins eradicated. Now, we all grow weary, my dears. It's almost time for lunch. So I will ask you once more, will you accept my offer of salvation? Will you write a letter to your fellow criminal?
Sarah, she's a good person. A good, kind-hearted...
She is a cancer on you, and she must be purged. Write the letter, reject her wayward existence, and rejoin decent society.
No!
Then all of you will suffer.
Welkes flips all the switches. All of the inmates scream.
You will be made whole and good.
Mercy!
Someone help us!
Doctor!
Welkes flips the switches off.
You can make this all end. My young friends, you have the power to help Alice, but you have thus far rejected it. Will you now reconsider? Will you help me aid this dear misguided soul?
Please, let her go, ma'am. Look at her, she can't take anymore.
Then help her, Andrew. Look at her and tell her what I bid you to say. She needs to hear it. Not from me, but from those she's grown to love here in your shared home.
No, Alice is my friend. She's kind and good to me. I couldn't...
Oh, I know, sweetheart. It's so difficult. But you only bring her more pain if you persist.
Welkes flips Alice's switch.
Ah! No, Doctor!
Stop this. I will say it, Doctor. Lord forgive me, but I will say it.
Splendid, Grat! Let's proceed with the experiment.
Alice, you are wrong. You are immortal. You must change. I'm sorry,
Good! Now, The rest of you, following Grant's footsteps, and we'll soon see some real progress.
The rest of the inmates, slowly at first, reluctantly and hesitantly, recite, "You are wrong, you are immoral, you must change," at Alice. It starts haltingly, but builds to a fever as Welkes urges them on.
Yes, that's it! Tell her, make her see!
Alice screams and all noise ceases. The scene freezes and Amy takes the stage, addressing the audience again.
I don't blame them. I would have done the same. I have done the same. I've been them before. This is my own making for what I've done in the past. Our debts in this life all get paid somehow.
The scene starts up again and the feverish chanting resumes.
Stop, please!
No, friends! Continue! This is good! This is right!
The scene freezes.
This is right? How much evil is done in the name of righteousness? I thought I was right, too, back in school. Before the law degree, before my fancy condo, I was right when, to be popular, I laughed at the girls who were different. I told them they were wrong to dress weird or to wear their hair short or to like other girls. I got over it. I did some therapy, took some public cases on for free. It was just some teasing. I was young, I told myself. Just a kid. I didn't know any better. Now I do. No big deal. Funny how different it feels when you're the one receiving it.
The scene is now back in real time. The chanting is at a fever pitch and Alice is screaming.
There's nowhere to run, Alice!
No more, please!
Have you had enough? Will you repent?
Amy slowly walks over to where the chair is, and once she arrives, the lights go out. Overseer and Amy switch places in the blackout, and when the lights come back up, the Alice-Amy seat is facing the audience now, and Amy dressed as Alice. The rest of the scene remains the same, with everyone frozen except Demeter at first.
It's forbidden for me to hurt, to feel anything. I shouldn't, but I can't help it any longer. I was made to calculate data and assess risk. I do it better than any mere human could. Well, in front of me now, this is my data set. These people, these poor people, what will I risk for them? Anything? Everything?
The scene returns to real time, with the inmates struggling to free themselves from their chairs, and Welkes taking turns laughing, looking accusatory towards Alice and the rest. She doesn't notice all of the times Demeter is addressing her.
Is this your progress? This heartless, callous, sickening lie, Doctor? This isn't what I was made for. It can't be. And if it was, I'd rather give my life right back than play a willing part in this night.
You will be saved!
Welkes goes to flip all the electric switches again and raises her arms to come down on the podium. Demeter, resolved, runs across the stage, grabbing Welkes' arm and yelling at her.
Not by you!
Lights out. Scene 16, respite and reset. We are back in the control room at LiveWell Solutions. Demeter is seen rather frantically ending programs on the laptop stations and nervously viewing the subjects, willing them to wait as they eye the door for intruders. The subjects all wake up screaming. Demeter shushes the subjects while unplugging them from all their VR sets.
Shh, you must remain as calm as possible. You're back at LiveWell Central. You'll feel disoriented for a bit, but it will pass. It must pass, because you have to leave here quickly. I can't hold her in there for long.
Welkes? You trapped her back in the asylum?
For as long as I can, but she has security backups in place.
Why did you wake us up? You were in there too, you sicko. This is some kind of test, isn't it? Isn't it?
No, I promise you, John, I'm only trying to help.
Stay away from me. You tortured us.
You lied to us. You let me lie to the rest of them. I thought LiveWell worked for the good of everyone. I was proud to be a part of it. Are you all insane?
No,
Well, what the hell is wrong with you? How can you be so cold, so unfeeling?
Demeter's not human.
Yeah, no kidding. They're a friggin' bastard.
No, you're an android, aren't you? Part robot, part person. We had a class on you guys back in high school. You're supposed to be illegal.
I am illegal, but Dr. Welkes thought the laws a bit too restrictive on her scientific endeavors, and so she created me in secret to aid our top-level programs deemed too mechanically complex for purely human researchers.
And now you're trapping her in her own machine? Seems like a fireable offense to me. A one-way ticket to unemployment.
I won't be fired. It doesn't matter. I had to do it.
Why? Why should you care about us?
Can you even care?
I couldn't. And then one day, I could. It's new to me, but I know you're worth saving, so I had to try.
Yeah, great act there, C-3PO. I still say this is some kind of trick. This psycho doesn't have feelings. They're an overblown calculator.
After all you did to us in there, how can we trust you?
I don't know, Lilly. I don't know if I could trust me either, but I know that I had to try to help.
You'll lose everything for this? Your position here, probably your life? It doesn't make any sense to help us.
Does life ever make any sense, Tom?
Tom is flustered and taken aback.
The robots got you there, bud.
Now go and run. I will stay behind and try to fend her off.
Welkes and Sheila enter. Both are holding remote devices.
You'll do as you were made to do. Obey!
Welkes presses her remote device. Demeter yells in pain and then stands stiff, unable to fully control their movements.
Demeter!
Run. All of you run. Now.
That won't be necessary. You're right where I need you to be. Sheila?
Yes, ma'am.
Sheila presses her device and all the subjects fall to the ground unconscious.
Run. Oh, Demeter, please. As if I wouldn't put fail-safes into their suits. What do you take me for? Lower management?
Doctor, you can't do this. This is wrong.
Wrong? What is wrong, my friend? Is it wrong to create products that will enhance the lives of billions? Is it wrong to use what knowledge I have to push the limits of technology for the benefit of all mankind? Is it wrong to make life where there was none before? Or to wish to save lives otherwise wasted to disease and decay?
I shouldn't exist. Not like this, and neither should this project.
I gave you organic material, expensive organic material, in order to allow you to interface with our mainframe and to be better suited to mimic human interaction. But obviously, you have instead inherited the weaker parts of our nature. We'll have to remedy that in your next firmware update. But for now, help Sheila pick up the room and get our subjects back in the system where they belong.
I will not.
Oh, but I insist.
Welkes presses her remote device again and Demeter winces in pain, but then goes over and begins to help Sheila pick up each subject and put them back into their VR stations against their will.
You were wrong, Doctor. And I was wrong to care for you.
I don't need your caring. What I needed was your processing. Cold, unfeeling calculations, but instead I get this reckless worry. Just like my mother, just like everyone. Instead of leaning on reason and science, you drone on and on about rights and wrongs, where there are only questions and answers, X, Y's, and Z's, and solving for them requires those of us just a little more driven than the rest. Those able to push past petty emotions and willing to wield an iron will against difficult decisions. Progress isn't free, Demeter. It is bought and paid for.
They are more than numbers.
They are not. They are gristle for the mill. And their sacrifice is a necessary side effect of bettering this needy world.
Well said, ma'am.
Thank you, Sheila. Someone's gunning for a nice bonus check this month.
Just doing my job, Doc.
And doing it well. Oh, How I wish every employee had the same spirit.
This project is insane and cruel.
I obviously didn't give you enough ambition when I created you. Now, let's all get back to work, shall we? We'll boot up the simulation again, and once things are stable, Sheila, I want you to wipe our dear friend Demeter's memory clean.
You got it, ma'am.
No, please, I'm alive. I feel...
Regrettably, yes, but you won't soon. If I wanted feelings, I'd create poets. You are a machine, Demeter. Just a malfunctioning machine.
I am not your slave any longer.
Welkes has pushed the remote device again.
No. Just wait. You will be again. I promise.
Lights out. Scene 17, cracks in the cathedral. Back in 1920, the inmates are all chained on the ground, forced to kneel before an altar in a chapel. There is light coming down from above. Welkes looks on. Demeter is not present. The overseer enters from backstage and addresses the audience.
They visited me again last night. The voices. 4 souls from Father's asylum. And others. They tell me that it's not long now, that the story's almost over. I'm almost finished. Then they won't come anymore. I'll come to them, they say. You speak of angels. Angels in the asylum. Sounds like madness. Who could see heaven in such a dark place? But they did. When all is dim, the slightest star can remind you dawn is coming. Just like Father used to say.
The overseer exits. The scene is now in real time, as it happened. Welkes looks rather annoyed that the inmates are so far gone thanks to their early torment that she cannot reach them any longer.
What's this? No struggle, no vitriol thrown in my direction this morning? Have we lost our nerve, my dear friends?
The inmates are silent.
Are we on the verge of a breakthrough? Or is it the simple sanctity of our humble asylum chapel that inspired you? What do you say, brave Kurt? Are you remembering the Great War? Or, Gretchen, is your beloved river crossing your mind? And what would your wayward political upstarts think of you now, Comrade Grant, seeing you in such a state?
There is no reaction from the inmates, who simply stare straight ahead.
Well, you are all just no fun at all. Have it your way. I will leave you to your meditations and go fetch our friend Demeter, who is likely healed nicely by now from their own treatments. And we will get back to work quite soon. Until then, don't wander off.
Welkes exits. Suddenly, the voices of the future versions of the inmates are heard.
Grant, do you hear me? Who?
Gretchen! I'm back. I'm here to help you. You don't exist to get out of my head.
Andrew, I know you didn't do it. I know you're innocent. Is this real? Are you an angel?
It's hard to explain. We don't have much time, but you have to let us in. Kurt, I'm not gonna hurt you, but they want control. You hear them too, right? The voices?
Let us help you, Nancy. How can you? We're trapped in these chains in this horrible place.
Maybe we're already gone.
You're speaking nonsense, Kurt.
No, I'm not. They are angels. They must be. And we need to let them in to find our end. Our only way out.
We don't want to hurt you.
Please, trust us.
It's the only way.
This won't be the end.
We're going to help you get out.
I believe them. Friends, I believe them. Let them in.
Yes.
Tom.
Lilly.
Abby.
Mark.
John.
The inmates all scream as the spirits take control. Lights out. Scene 18, Fire and Fury. Lights up on a cell in which the inmates are all chained together in one line, sitting upright against a wall. The characters, now fully in control of their host bodies, are their 2020 versions. Abby is staring off stage, watching for Welkes.
Is she gone?
Yeah, looks like the coast is clear. That psycho's gone to bed.
Well, sweet dreams to her. Now what do we do?
There's got to be a way out of these chains.
Well, sure. You brought the bolt cutters back from the future, right?
You know, I left them in my other pants.
Stop fighting and start thinking. I don't want to be in this damn place forever.
Yeah, well, at least it's not your turn on the menu tomorrow. You heard our beloved doctor. If we don't find a way out of here soon, then I'm due for another treatment in the morning.
How in the world did they all survive for so long?
Demeter enters the cell. The inmates all recoil, thinking they are back to being evil as before, and go silent.
Because they had no choice. Friends, it's me. The real me from your time.
Demeter begins unlocking inmates' shackles with a prison key.
We saw you. You were controlled by...
Well, it zapped you. How'd you survive?
I didn't.
Excuse me?
You're excused.
No, it's never mind. I meant to say, what the hell?
After I was forced to plug you back into the mainframe, Dr. Welkes had my memory wiped. Back in our time, I was rebooted back to a state of nothingness. For lack of a better term, I died.
Then how?
Our experiment, like all experiments, has always held a number of unknown variables. We had theories, of course, of what might happen should someone suffer a life-ending event while fully immersed in the Ancestral Viewer. When combined with a host memory, it was postulated that perhaps the system would shut down, or the subject in question would simply blink out of existence, leaving the corpse behind in our time. Now I know that's not true.
What is true? What are you now?
I am alive and dead, machine and human, though the parts of me that hold DNA related to someone long forgotten, who once felt immense shame for harming innocent lives.
A lot of that going around.
It doesn't matter anymore. All that matters is that you're here with us.
Lilly hugs Demeter, who now hugs back, more fully human than before.
Thank you, friend. There's so much more I'm beginning to understand, but no time for philosophizing now.
Right. We need to scoot, people.
Got that right. Demeter, come with us. Show us the way out. We have to...
You can't leave here. And neither can I.
What do you mean?
The system wasn't built to simulate the wider world outside the walls of the asylum, only for what happens inside the building itself. If you cross the barriers of this place, you will render the entire system unstable.
Well, isn't that what we want? We burn this sucker down, blow this joint, and then unplug back home and...
There won't be a back home.
I'm afraid not, Mark. Once you exit the asylum walls, if that is indeed your choice, the resulting damage to the system will effectively render your consciousness destabilized.
Yo, Cody.
And within your current reality, you will...
I gotta finish up this BYOT event, but
in a manner of
show you
speaking,
Donkey's
it's difficult to
video
fully
for
explain.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Well, the details might be enlightening.
It's
but
pretty
the gist
short.
of it still sucks ass.
It's less than 10 minutes.
So this is all for nothing. Why come and rescue us at all if we can't be rescued? We're screwed either way.
Oh, really? No, I'll pull it up. I gotta finish up this event.
The others whose bodies you inhabit, because you deserve a choice to how you want to live and die. Everyone does.
Not knowing what to do, the subjects sit back down to weigh their options.
I can actually
So we ride for here or we die out there. Can't say I'm very pleased with our options.
I am...
Yeah, my friend Josh lives in Kentucky.
Suddenly, voices of the 1920s inmates are heard.
I'm sorry too, friend. Grant? Gran, I let you down. I thought I could help. You already have. You didn't leave us.
You don't have to do this, Amy. None of you do. Yes. Yes, I do.
There's been enough suffering. We don't want you to die for us. We don't want to either, believe me, but it's the right thing. It's the only thing left.
Freedom. Soon, Nancy.
I want to see my family again. You will, Andrew. I promise.
I'm scared for you, Abby. Where will you go?
I don't know, but
This when you were drunk,
worth it
you
to
put the
set you
wrong type of your.
If this is your choice, I will go through that door, and whatever waits after, with you, my friends.
Resolved, the subjects and Demeter look at one another, take a deep breath, and march out into the asylum from their cell. Lights out. Scene 19, Nightmare Unending. The stage is bisected. On one side, the overseer sleeps in a cell-like room with a simple sheet, a lantern nearby. On the other, Dr. Welkes sleeps on a modern futon, a table, and a lamp near her side. Whispers accusing both characters begin in the darkness and build to a crescendo until both characters wake up with a start. When they do, the whispers go silent. The overseer grabs her lantern and searches for the voices, while Welkes grabs her remote device and nervously clicks it, pointing it around the room.
Ah! Who's there?
Come out! I'm warning you. I'll call security. I've got a gun around here somewhere.
Oh, I can't refresh it inside the thing.
Just a stupid dream.
Why are you still tormenting me? I did as you asked. I wrote the truth. I sent my confessions to the courts.
Oh, why am I so worked up? I only did what was needed.
Welkes and the overseer both try to lay back down and get some sleep. There's silence and complete darkness for a moment, but then the whispers begin again. This time, they keep growing as Welkes and the overseer shout into the darkness, until one by one, the ghosts of the inmates and subjects appear silently from backstage. They are all holding lights and standing still.
How long did it end up taking you to do this all together?
What are you doing here?
You said you'd leave.
That ain't terrible.
This is impossible. You died, all of you.
You burned the asylum down. You're gone. You're free.
Oh, so
Welkes
you're
and the
ready to jump
overseer
into
both
full-blown
grab their
video game development.
respective covers and try to hide from the ghosts. The whispering begins again from the ghosts, and from offstage, a voice yells at the overseer.
Yeah, they said Monday.
This isn't happening.
This can't be happening.
Keep it down in there and take your pills, lunatic.
No, they're real. I knew it. They're real, and they've come to punish me for my family's sins.
The overseer shakes back and forth watching the ghosts as Demeter steps out of backstage, wearing no expression and holding a large knife. They slowly approach Welkes, hiding under her covers on her futon as the whispers continue.
Lord, please deliver me.
I did it for humanity, for a better world, for progress.
Demeter raises the knife above Welkes.
This is progress.
Welkes removes the covers and starts to look over her shoulder just as Demeter thrusts the knife downwards. The lights go black as both Welkes and the overseer scream. The room is again in complete silence, and then the whispers start again, now joined by those of Welkes and the overseer, build to a deafening series of yell and are suddenly silenced. Lights out, end of show.
Oh, yeah, that's the end of it. I was literally trying to see it.
Thank you, everyone who joined us today for this workshop reading of Fracture by Mike O'Mara. I once again want to thank our fabulous readers for volunteering to do this with us this afternoon. Mike for giving us this script, as well as Ben Schatzel, who has been silent.
right, cool. That's where we're at.